Okay, so you're all very welcome to the class this evening. The class today will be mainly focusing on hips and hamstrings. When we're doing the standing asanas, it will be more trying to get into the posture, getting comfortable, getting set up, and then 5 breaths, and then coming out, switching to the other side, rather than transitioning. So just be aware of that when I'm cueing. Just try and get comfortable and then focus on your breath. So if you'd like to come into the opening Shavasana, lying back onto your mats, feet out to the edge of your mat, gently lie back, drawing your arms away from your body, with your palms facing upwards. Relax your entire body on your mat, scanning from the soles of your feet, through your legs, into your hips, through your spine, through the crown of your head. Recognizing all the points where your back body makes contact with the earth, and feeling that support beneath you. We're going to integrate a count into the breath this evening. We're going to inhale for a count of 4, hold for 2, exhale for 4, and hold for 2. Exhale completely, emptying your lungs. And inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2. Continue with this cycle of breath, adding length to your breath this evening, and focusing your mind as you prepare for your practice. We will now move into silence. Continue with those cycles of breath. Bring your awareness back to your body, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, moving your hands and feet. Gently move your head from side to side, resting your head back at center, keeping your legs extended. Join your heels on your mat and reach your arms over your head, pointing your toes, extending through your fingertips, getting a full body stretch. And exhale, release. Gently bend your knees and roll over to your right hand side, making a cushion with your hand. Extend your left leg and, keeping your eyes closed, push up to a comfortable seated position at the front of your mat. Drawing your hands together at heart center. Taking a moment to thank yourself for arriving on your mat this evening. You might want to take a moment to set an intention for your practice. With that intention in mind, bow your head towards your hands, open your eyes. Namaste. To begin today's warm-up, we're just going to work into the wrists. So extend your arms straight out in front of you and make circular motions with your wrists. Controlled motions, just releasing any tension, connecting to your breath, and the other direction. Releasing any tension. As you exhale, you can release your hands back down. We're now going to warm up the shoulders. So place the palms of your hands and the tops of your shoulders and make forward circular motions with your elbows, keeping your fingertips on your shoulders, connecting to your breath and the other direction, gradually making the circles wider. And exhale, release, dropping your hands back down. We're now going to move into gate pose. So come to a kneeling position on your mat and shift your right leg out to the side with your foot facing forward. Place your left hand on your mat, a foot away from your left knee, and inhale, raise your right arm over your head and twist your chest towards the sky, engaging the outer edge of your right foot, connecting to your breath. As you inhale, come up and place that right hand on your right leg, and inhale, raise your left arm, leaning a little bit over to the right, engaging your left knee on your mat and extending through your left fingertips. As you exhale, release that hand back down to your mat and raise your right arm over your head, connecting to your breath. And exhale, release, joining your knees together on your mat. And you can now shift your left leg out to the side with your foot facing forward. From here, placing your right hand on your mat, a foot away from your right leg, knee, and inhale, raise your left arm over your head, spiraling your chest towards the sky, connecting to your breath. As you inhale, come up, placing that left hand on your left leg, and inhale, raise your right arm, leaning a little bit over to the left, reaching out through your fingertips, engaging your right knee on your mat. As you exhale, release that hand back down to your mat. And on an inhale, raise that left arm, spiraling your chest towards the sky, engaging the outer edge of your left foot, connecting to your breath. And inhale, come up, join your knees together. You can now sweep your legs behind you, coming into tabletop position. Palms of your hands at the front of your mat. Your knees are tracking under your hips. Your spine is neutral. We're going to work into a spinal twist. So keeping your left hand rooted on your mat. On an inhale, raise your right arm, twisting out to the right. Reaching out through those right fingertips. As you exhale, slide that right arm behind your left wrist, dropping the back of your right shoulder and the side of your head towards your mat. Connecting to your breath. As you inhale, push into that left hand and raise your right arm, twisting out to the right. Keep the tops of your feet and your knees engaged on your mat. Connect to your breath. As you exhale, slide that right arm behind your left wrist, dropping the back of your shoulder and the side of your head towards your mat. Connect to your breath. And inhale, gently make your way back up to tabletop. We'll repeat that on the other side. So keeping your right hand on your mat, inhale, raise your left arm, twisting out to the left, reaching out through your fingertips. As you exhale, slide that left arm behind your right wrist, dropping the back of your left shoulder and the side of your head towards your mat. Feeling a nice stretch on the back of your left shoulder. On an inhale, push into that right hand and raise your left arm, twisting out to the left. Keeping the tops of your feet and your knees engaged on your mat. As you exhale, slide that left arm behind your right wrist, dropping the back of your shoulder and the side of your head towards your mat. Connect to your breath. And on an inhale, gently come back up to tabletop. We're now going to move into a cat-cow. So on an inhale, drop your belly, lift your tailbone, open your chest. Exhale, spine up, rolling vertebrae by vertebrae, dropping your chin towards your chest. Imagining you're pushing the floor away from you. As you exhale, belly down, tailbone up, opening your chest. And exhale, spine up, rolling vertebrae by vertebrae as you draw your chin towards your chest, drawing your belly button towards your spine. Connect to your breath. And exhale, release, coming back to a neutral spine. We're now going to warm up the hips. So keeping your left knee on your mat, raise your right knee and make circular motions with your knee, gradually making the circles wider. Connect to your breath as you move in the other direction, gradually making the circles wider. And exhale, release, dropping your knee back down. We'll repeat that on the other side. So lifting your left knee off your mat, make circular motions with your knee, working into the hips, gradually making the circles wider as you move in the other direction. Connect to your breath. And exhale, release, dropping your knee back down. We're now going to move into extended child's pose. So joining your big toes, On your mat, shift your knees out to the edge of your mat and sit your bum towards your heels, extending your arms out ahead as you melt your chest and forehead towards your mat. Keep your fingertips engaged on your mat, and at the same time, draw your bum towards your heels, feeling a nice extension to your spine and opening to your hips. Connect to your breath. And on an inhale, make your way to tabletop. And from tabletop, tuck your toes and keeping your knees bent, lift your hips, coming into downward facing dog. First downward dog of class. So pedal your feet to stretch your calves and your hamstrings, lifting your sit bones towards the ceiling, pressing into your fingertips. Gently walk your feet towards your hands at the front of your mat, and keeping your knees bent, fold over your knees, grabbing opposite elbows with your hands as you surrender the crown of your head towards your mat, nodding your head yes, shaking your head no. Gently push through your feet and make your way to a standing position at the front of your mat. Preparing for the sun salutations in mountain pose. We'll do 2 rounds of sun salutation A and 1 round of B. Feet together at the front of your mat. Your quadriceps are engaged. Your spine is straight. On an inhale, raise your arms, reaching out through your fingertips. Exhale, fold forward over your knees. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on your shins, lengthening your spine. Exhale, palms down, step your left and right foot back. Bending your elbows, chaturanga. On an inhale, opening your chest, upward facing dog. And exhale, lifting your hips, coming into downward facing dog. Imagine you're pushing the floor away from you as you lift your sit bones towards the ceiling. Relax your neck as you draw your heels towards your mat. Looking between your palms, on an inhale, step your right and left foot forward to the front of your mat, coming into a halfway lift, lengthening your spine, opening your chest. Exhale, fold forward over your knees. Inhale, raise your arms, reaching out through your fingertips. And exhale, you can release your hands back down. Take a deep breath as we prepare for the second round of sun salutation A. It'll be slightly more advanced. Standing in mountain pose, energy through the crown of your head. Connect to your breath. As you inhale, raise your arms, joining your palms above your head, looking towards your thumbs. Exhale, fold forward over your knees. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening your spine, opening your chest. Exhale, palms down. You can step or jump your feet back. Bending your elbows, chaturanga. On an inhale, opening your chest, upward facing dog. And exhale, lifting your hips, coming into downward facing dog. Connect to your breath here, drawing your belly button towards your spine as you lift your sit bones towards the ceiling. On an inhale, step your left and right foot forward to the front of your mat, coming into a halfway lift, lengthening your spine through the crown of your head. Exhale, fold forward over your knees. Inhale, raise your arms, joining your palms above your head, looking towards your thumbs. And exhale, you can release your hands back down. Take a deep breath. We're now going to move into Sun Salutation B. So again, starting in mountain pose, standing tall, connect to your breath. On an inhale, bend your knees, sweep your fingers along your mat, raising your arms, coming into chair pose. Exhale, fold forward over your knees. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening your spine, opening your chest. Exhale, palms down. You can step or jump your feet back. Bending your elbows, chaturanga. On an inhale, opening your chest, upward facing dog. And exhale, lift your hips, coming into downward facing dog. Pressing down into all your fingertips. Connect to your breath. As you inhale, step your right foot between your palms at the front of your mat. Your right ankle and knee is in line. Your left leg is straight and engaged. As you inhale, raise your arms, coming into Warrior One. Pressing down into both your feet. Keeping that left leg engaged. As you exhale, release your palms back down to your mat. Step your right foot back to meet your left foot. Bending your elbows, chaturanga. On an inhale, opening your chest, upward facing dog. And exhale, lifting your hips, downward facing dog. Connect to your breath. As you inhale, step your left foot between your palms at the front of your mat. Your left ankle and knee is in line. Your right leg is straight and engaged. As you inhale, raise your arms, coming into Warrior One. Pressing down into both your feet, your foundation, reaching out through your fingertips. As you exhale, release your palms back down to your mat. Step your left foot back to meet your right foot. Bending your elbows, chaturanga. On an inhale, opening your chest, upward facing dog. And exhale, lifting your hips, downward facing dog. Connect to your breath here. As you lift your sit bones towards the ceiling, drawing your heels towards your mat. On an inhale, step your right and left foot forward to the front of your mat, coming into a halfway lift, lengthening your spine, opening your chest. Exhale, fold forward over your knees. Inhale, bend your knees, sweep your fingers along your mat, raising your arms, coming into chair pose. And exhale, release, making your way to a standing position. at the front of your mat. Connect to your breath. We're now going to move into the standing asanas. So if you'd like to move your mats or your cameras, as I'll be cueing the next few positions from here. And when you're ready, make your way to a wide-legged stance on your mat with your feet facing forward. We're going to start the standing asanas with triangle pose. So turning your right heel out 90 degrees, your left heel slightly in 5 degrees. Press down into both your feet, your foundation, and raise your arms to shoulder level. On an inhale, lean out to your right hand side, reaching out through your fingertips, and exhale, fold over your right knee, placing your hand on your knee, shin, or ankle as you twist your upper body, opening your heart towards the ceiling, pressing down into both your feet, connecting to your breath, reaching out through your left fingertips, and inhale, gently come up, turn that right heel in, take a deep breath. We'll repeat triangle pose on the other side. So turning your left heel out 90 degrees, right heel slightly in 5 degrees. Press down into both your feet and raise your arms to shoulder level. On an inhale, lean out to your left hand side, reaching out through your fingertips. And exhale, fold over your left knee, placing your hand on your knee, shin, or ankle as you open your heart towards the sky, pressing down into both your feet. Connect to your breath. Reaching out through your right fingertips. And inhale, come up. Gently turn that left heel in. Take a deep breath. We're now going to move into side angle pose. So turning your right heel out 90 degrees again and bending into your right knee so your ankle and knee is in line. Pressing down into both your feet, place your right forearm on top of your right knee and inhale, raise your left arm over your head and inhale, try and twist your heart towards the sky. Connect to your breath here as you press down into both your feet and reach out through your left fingertips. And on an inhale, gently come up, turning that right heel in. Take a deep breath. We'll repeat side angle pose on the other side. So turning your left heel out 90 degrees and bending into your left knee so your ankle and knee is in line. Place your left forearm on top of your left knee. And on an inhale, raise that right arm over your head as you spiral your chest towards the sky. Pressing down into both your feet. Reaching out through your right fingertips. Connect to your breath. And on an inhale, gently come up, turning that left heel in. Take a deep breath. We're now going to move into Warrior Two. So turning your right heel out 90 degrees again and bending into that right knee so your ankle and knee is in line. Your torso is facing me, pressing down into both your feet. Raise your arms to shoulder level and turn your head to focus your gaze over your right middle finger. Pressing down into both your feet. Energy through the crown of your head as you reach out through your fingertips. Connect to your breath. And inhale, gently come up, turning that right heel in. Take a deep breath. We'll repeat warrior two on the other side. So turning your left heel out 90 degrees, bending into your left knee so your ankle and knee is in line, pressing down into both your feet, raising your arms to shoulder level, and gently turn your head to focus your gaze over your left middle finger. Press down into both your feet and energy through the crown of your head as you reach out through your fingertips. And inhale, gently come up, turning that left heel in. Take a deep breath. You can now join your feet together on your mat. We're now going to move into tree pose, a balancing posture. So shift the weight into your right foot, and you can place your left heel above your right ankle, opening out your hip. Or if you feel comfortable with control, picking a spot on the wall for balance, gently lift your left heel and place it against your inner right thigh, opening out your hip. You can place your hands together at heart center or raise your arms over your head. In whichever version you're in, focusing on pressing that heel into your inner thigh and your inner thigh back into your heel, lifting out of your hips and energy through the crown of your head. Connect to your breath. And exhale, release, closing that hip and extending your left leg. We'll repeat tree pose on the other side. So this time, shifting the weight into your left foot. Gently, you can place your right heel above your left ankle, or if you're comfortable, pick a spot on the wall for balance and lift that right leg, placing it, your heel against the inner side of your left thigh, opening out your hip. You can place your hands together at heart center or raise your arms over your head. In whichever version you're in, focusing on pressing that heel into your inner thigh and your inner thigh back into your heel, lifting out of your hips and energy through the crown of your head. And exhale, release, gently closing that right hip and extending your right leg. You can now move your mats or your cameras to how they were at the start of class, as I'll be cueing the remaining positions from here. And when you're ready, come to mountain pose at the front of your mat. Feet together, quadriceps engaged, energy through the crown of your head. On an inhale, bend your knees, sweep your fingers along your mat, raising your arms, coming into chair pose. Press your knees together and drop your tailbone as you reach out through your fingertips. On an exhale, fold forward over your knees. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening your spine, opening your chest. Exhale, palms down. You can step or jump your feet back. Bending your elbows, chaturanga. On an inhale, opening your chest, upward facing dog. And exhale, lifting your hips, downward facing dog. Connect to your breath here. As you inhale, step your right foot between your palms at the front of your mat. Keeping your left leg engaged, raise your arms, coming into warrior one. We're going to join our hands together at heart center and picking a spot on the floor in front of your mat for balance. Shift the weight into your right leg and gently lift your left leg out behind you, coming into warrior three. Energy through the crown of your head, pointing your left toes, lifting out of your right hip, connecting to your breath. As you exhale, gently release that left leg back to your mat behind you and frame your right foot with your hands. Step your right foot back to meet your left foot and lift your hips, coming into downward facing dog. On an inhale, step your left foot between your palms at the front of your mat, so your left ankle and knee is in line. Your right leg is straight and engaged. Joining your hands together at heart center. Pick a spot on the floor in front of your mat for balance and shift the weight into your left foot, raising your right leg out behind you, coming into warrior three. Pointing your right toes, energy through the crown of your head. Connect to your breath. Pushing out of that left hip. And exhale, gently release that right foot back down to your mat. Framing your left foot with your hands. Gently make your way to tabletop by dropping your knees to your mat. And we're going to move into child's pose, joining your big toes, extending your knees out to the edge of your mat, sitting your bum towards your heels, and extending your arms out ahead. Use this opportunity to connect to your breath after the standing asanas. Feeling a nice opening to your hips, an extension to your spine, and a stretch to the backs of your shoulders. And when you're ready, make your way to a tabletop position on your mat. We're going to move into a low lunge. So step your right foot between your palms at the front of your mat and extend your left leg out behind you with your left knee and the top of your left foot resting on your mat. On an inhale, raise your arms, coming into a low lunge, engaging the top of your left foot and your left knee on your mat as you reach out through your fingertips. Connect to your breath, sinking into your hips. On an exhale, release your hands back down to your mat in line with your hips and gently lift your hips to straighten your right leg as you flex your toes towards your shins. You can bring your hands back in line with your hips as you fold your head towards your knee. Feeling a nice stretch on your right hamstring. Connect to your breath. On an inhale, bend that right knee, shifting the weight forward, coming back into a lunge. And from here, draw your hands together at heart center and hook your left elbow across your right knee, coming into a low lunge with a twist. Draw your belly button towards your spine to engage your core, keeping the top of your left foot and your left knee engaged on your mat. Connect to your breath. As you exhale, release your hands back down to your mat and step your right knee back to meet your left knee, coming back into tabletop. We'll repeat that sequence on the other side. So this time, stepping your left foot forward between your palms, your left ankle and knee is in line. Your right leg is extended straight out behind you with the top of your right foot and your right knee on your mat. On an inhale, raise your arms, coming into a low lunge, connecting to your breath as you sink into your hips, softening the tops of your shoulders. As you exhale, release your hands back down to your mat and walk your hands back towards your hips as you straighten that left leg by lifting your hips and flexing your left toes towards your shin. And you can fold your forehead towards your left knee, feeling a nice stretch on your left hamstring, focusing on lifting those hips. Connect to your breath. On an exhale, bend into that left knee, coming back into a low lunge, and draw your hands together at heart center, hooking your right elbow across your left knee, coming into a twist, engaging the top of your right foot and your right knee on your mat as you draw your belly button towards your spine and twist a little bit further to the left, connecting to your breath. And exhale, release, framing your left foot with your hands and stepping your left knee back to meet your right knee, coming back into tabletop. We're now going to move into pigeon pose. So this time, stepping your right knee behind your right wrist, allowing your right foot to draw towards your left hip, extending your left leg straight out behind you with the top of your left foot and your left knee resting on your mat. On an inhale, draw your bum towards your mat and exhale, fold forward. You can have the palms of your hands resting on your mat or draw your forearms towards your mat. Sinking down into your hips, feeling a nice stretch on the outer edge of your right hip. Engaging the top of your left foot and your left knee on your mat. Soften your jaw. And on an inhale, press through your hands and release your right leg back to meet your left leg, coming back into tabletop. We're going to repeat pigeon pose on the other side. So stepping your left knee behind your left wrist, allowing your left foot to draw towards your right hip flexor. On an inhale, draw your bum, sit your bum back towards your mat. And exhale, you can release your forearms towards your mat. Connect to your breath here. Feeling a nice stretch on the outer edge of your left hip. softening your jaw. And on an inhale, pressing through your hands and drawing your left knee back to meet your right knee, coming back into tabletop. We're now going to move into the last hip opener, lizard pose. So this time, step your right foot outside your right hand on your mat, allowing your left leg to extend straight out behind you. From here, there's loads of different options. You can leave the palms of your hands on your mat and use your right hand to push your right knee out to the side. Or you can draw your forearms towards your mat to intensify the stretch. If you're on your forearms, you can also use your hand to push your right knee out to the side. In whichever version you're in, connect to your breath. Feeling a nice stretch on your left hip flexor and the outside of your right hip. And inhale, gently bring your right knee back to meet your left knee, coming back into tabletop. We'll repeat lizard pose on the left side, so stepping your left foot outside your left hand, extending your right leg out behind you. From here, you can come onto your forearms or use your left hand to push your left knee out to the side. Feeling a nice opening on your left hip. Connect to your breath. Deep inhales and exhales. And on an inhale, pressing through your hands and drawing your left knee back to meet your right knee, coming back into tabletop. From tabletop, we're going to shift our legs in front of us as we make our way to bridge pose. So lying back and bending your knees as you draw your heels towards your sit bones. With the palms of your hands flat on your mat beside your hips. Your feet are hip distance apart. On an inhale, you want to press through your heels to lift your hips towards the ceiling, rolling each vertebrae off your mat. You can tuck your shoulder blades under your body and interlock your fingers as you draw your hands towards your heels. Pressing into your heels to lift your hips. You can engage your core by drawing your belly button towards your spine, drawing your inner thighs together. Connect to your breath. And exhale, release, dropping your hips back down. Take a deep breath. We're going to repeat bridge pose one more time. So the palms of your hands are flat on your mat beside your hips, pressing into your heels and engaging your core to lift your hips towards the ceiling, rolling each vertebrae off your mat and tucking your shoulder blades under your body as you draw your hands towards your heels, opening your chest, drawing your inner thighs together as you lift your hips. And exhale, release, gently dropping your hips back down. Take a deep breath. We're now going to move into shoulder stand. So lying back on your mat, you can draw your knees towards your chest and rock from side to side for a more restorative posture. Or you can roll onto your shoulders and lift your feet towards the ceiling, keeping your hands on your lower back for support, pointing your toes. Just connect to your breath here for 5 breaths as you draw your chin, your chest towards your chin. And on an exhale, keeping your legs as straight as possible, try and drop your feet in behind your head, coming into Halasana. If your feet are still in the air, keep your hands on your lower back for support, or you can drop your feet in behind your head and interlock your fingers, drawing your hands away from your body. Connect to your breath. Feeling a nice release on your lower back. And on an exhale, bend your knees and roll vertebrae by vertebrae, dropping your hips and feet back to your mat. Connect to your breath. To end class today, we're going to move into Happy Baby. So lying on your back, draw your knees towards your chest. You can place your hands under your knee creases and draw your knees towards your armpits, feeling a nice release on your hip flexors and your glutes. If you're comfortable, you can grab the outer edge of both your feet to slightly intensify the stretch. Drawing your knees towards your armpits, connecting to your breath. And exhale, release. Extending your legs, drawing your feet out to the edge of your mat as we prepare for the closing Shavasana. Gently lying back, drawing your arms away from your body with your palms facing upwards. Relax your neck. Relax the back of your head. Relaxing your entire body. Allowing your body and mind to absorb the benefits of your practice this evening. I will now guide you through the closing Shavasana. Just completely relax on your mat. Relax your toes. Relax the soles of your feet, your heels. Relax your calves, backs of your knees, your hamstrings. Relax your hips, feeling them open out like a book. Relax your abdomen, feeling it soften. Relaxing your chest as you open your heart towards the sky. Relax your fingertips, the palms of your hands, your wrists. Relax your forearms, elbows. Relax your upper arms into your shoulders as your shoulders draw away from your ears. Relax your throat. Relax your neck. Relax the back of your head. Relax your jaw. Relax your tongue. Feeling your tongue draw away from the roof of your mouth. Soften your lips, feeling them slightly part. Relax your cheeks. Relax the space around your eyes. Relax your eyes, feeling them draw towards the back of your head. Soften your eyebrows. Relax the space between your eyebrows. Soften your forehead, the seat of your mind. Relax every single hair on the top of your head. Relax your entire body, feeling the support of the earth beneath you. Relax, relax, relax. We will now move into silence for the next 5 minutes, giving this 5 minutes for yourself out of your day, recognizing there is great power in the ability to be completely still and silent with yourself. As we move into silence. Bring your awareness back to your body, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, moving your hands and feet. Gently move your head from side to side, waking up your neck. Resting your head back at center. Join your heels on your mat and extend your arms over your head, getting a full body stretch, pointing your toes, extending through your fingertips. And exhale, release. Gently bend your knees and roll over to your right hand side, making a cushion with your hand. Gently making your way to a comfortable seated position at the front of your mat, keeping your eyes closed and drawing your hands together at heart center. Taking a moment to thank yourself for arriving on your mat this evening. Looking back to the start of class, when we set an intention. Did you achieve your intention? And remembering all the other things you achieved in the last hour. With that feeling of self-compassion, rub your hands together, creating heat, creating energy. Draw your hands over your eyes. Blink your eyes open to the darkness of your palms. Draw your hands away from your eyes. Bow your head. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.